So now we're at the point where we have to make our server a domain controller. And to do that, we go down to the customize the service and add roles. In the add roles, this is the add roles wizard, and we will choose from the roles of the server, which amount to 16. 16 roles, which server is supposed to be able to conduct, and we are just going to do Active Directory domain services. I'll go next. Install. This is going to take a while, so we'll be back when it's completed. Upon the completion of the installation of the Active Directory services, we now have the ability to promote the server to a domain controller using the DC promo command. We can do this via the command line, or just click on this hyperlink, and that will launch the service for us. So I'll do it from the command line. Let's go start command DC promo. After you do that, the wizard screen will come up. We'll go next. We're going to create a new domain in the forest, and you have to put in your fully qualified domain name. In this case, I'm just going to put in next. While the check to see the name is in use in the forest already, basically it would then continue, and it will bring us to the forest functional level, and we would use the 2008 forest functional level. It provides compatibility with the previous network operating systems. At this point, there is no static IP address on the server for configuration reasons, this is essential for providing the DNS for its services, but we will do this after. So we continue. These are the default settings where you would find all the different logs, and we must provide a password. Again, of the complexity, uppercase letter, special character, a number, and lowercase characters. Now, in this settings, you can export it for future DC promo unattended installs, which means you just start the install and direct the file. You direct the path to wherever this export setting is, export file is, and it would do all the configurations for you. So this is where it starts to do the DNS and Active Directory promotion. So while we wait on that to happen. Now that the wizard has finished, we have to restart the server so that it would now act its proper role as a domain controller. And while we wait for that to happen, so this is the start of our new domain ready box. We just log in, first log in, alright, so first login, we okay, our network services running. So here now would be updated, all these will be updated. We now are part of the degreeprog.com domain, right? And this is the DC server 01. We now have additional administrative tools with the addition of the Active Directory services. This would allow us now to view the computers, which there are none, attached to your domain controller, which is server that you're in. This GC here means that it's a global catalog. It's the first server in your, is the role the first server in your domain plays. These are default users that are created for the domain to do administration for different types of services. Now we're going to add IP address, a static IP address to the server so that we can enable DHCP and we can have DNS do its own work that is required of it. So we manage network connections, right click on the network card, IPv4, and we're giving it a manual address. Any address will do according to the number of machines that's going to be on your domain. I'm using the 10 class. I'm using a class A address and subnetting it as a class C. This is a loopback address, meaning that the machine itself, this address here, is your DNS address. Alright, so while we wait on that, it should go away. Good. So now we are independent. Close this off and close this off. So now that it shows here that you have an IP address of 10.0.0.1. That's the first address on your network. You can now adjust the DNS to reflect its role on the Active Directory and configure its settings as such. But before we do that, we're going to add another role to the server. We're going to make it a DHCP server. That's right here. So next. This is our current address. This is the domain. We could validate that. That's okay. go next. Now here you can have this for legacy application. It's always good to have legacy application support. Now you could do your scope, and this scope we give this scope a name. Right, so your starting IP, usually you reserve your first, according to how much network devices you have, and your plans for expansion, you reserve your first couple IP addresses for your network devices. So that will be static addresses. So add start from 10.10.0.75 and end 10.10.0.254. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And default gateway, of course, would always be 10.0.0.1. Now here you could fix it least duration, wired 6 days and wireless 8 hours. So we leave that as it. Proceed. We could leave the default settings here. Validate that. Alright, that's good. We use the current user credentials to authorize the scope. So basically this is how it would look, and we install that. It's going to take a while. So the DHCP service was installed with one warning message: the automatic update is not enabled. And we skip all that. And now you have an additional service, additional role on your domain control. So now if you're checking your administrative tools, you have DHCP, DNS, and Active Directory services, components.